Alright, so if you hear some squeaking in the background, it's my fuck up car. It's the steering. I probably need more steering wheel fluid. Hopefully it's not that loud and doesn't fuck up the audio. So I'm going to try to be talking quite loud. But I just want to tell you guys something about that I heard from a podcast with Quentin Tarantino on the Joe Rogan podcast. It was Quentin Tarantino and someone else. But it was the most recent podcast with Quentin Tarantino and Joe Rogan. The other guy was another director. Well, his story is also pretty interesting. But regardless, this is just something that, it's happened to me, and it made me also realize, I still have more time, because even though I'm 21, I know that I have a lot of time, but at the same time, I'm like, I don't have any fucking time. So, Tarantino said, because before he was a director, right, he was working in a movie store, just DVDs, not a Blockbuster, because Blockbuster, you actually run the thing, but just a mom and pop, movie store, renting movies for the weekend or whatever many days. And he said that one of his coworkers was just doing little jobs here and there, worked at this one job for 5 years, fooling around, another job 5 years, but they were all high school jobs for just to that only gives you enough money to pay for gas, right? And just hang out, not an actual job. And he said that this guy got salty, and he said he was just salty. And Quentin Tarantino said, I saw 10 years in the future of what it would be if I didn't change. And he was 20, in his early 20s, I think he was 22 or 23. And he was and he saw, where he would end up if he didn't change, because he didn't go to college, I'm pretty sure, from what I remember. He didn't go to college, and he was just working, like a useless job at the movie store, right? Yes, he knew a lot about movies, obviously, and he became a director, but he wasn't getting money, and that job would have taken him nowhere because he's never worked anywhere else. He just worked there for a long time, right? So he's worked there for a long time, so he has no other experience. I'm pretty sure he doesn't have a college degree. That's why he wouldn't be able to work anywhere else, right? That's the only thing. So he realized at a young age, once this dude was lashing out and telling him, right, about because he was the dude was kind of angry, his coworker was angry that he had ended up there, and he's 30 or 40, and he's still working at a movie store and making no money, and his life went to shit, right? So Quentin Tarantino, he realized that damn, if I don't change, I'm gonna end up here for the rest of my life, because I don't have any other experience other than working at this mom and pop movie store, right? So it says he was 25. Oh no, he was 25. Well, Quentin Tarantino was 25 when he was making movies. When he started making movies, 25. So yes, 22 or 23, he didn't know what the fuck he was doing, right? And he talked about how he needed to leave where he was living, which is also because if not, you would have stayed in that same cycle, and that's one of the reasons I want to leave, because I am in this cycle. But he saw himself not being able to progress, and this was at 22 or 23, and then he didn't start till he was 25. So even at 25, if you start, right, that's still you still have time, with whatever it is. Because if he started at 25 and he's one of the greatest directors, I wouldn't say he's the greatest, but he's one of the greatest. Pulp Fiction, Django, Inglourious Bastards, I'm pretty sure. The other movie with the older Western movie, whatever. He has good movies, right? One of the best. And he started at 25 with nothing. He says he didn't know shit and stuff. So there's still like, there's still hope. And one of the things he said, he's like, you're allowed to fuck up until you're 25. Then you got to get your shit together. Because that's when he realized if you stay in that cycle till like after 25, you're most likely going to stay in that cycle. Because once you're 25, you start getting like for real responsibilities, and all your options, your options keep going lower and lower. And I'm 21. I still have, 4 years until that day. So, man, these people go crazy for the Christmas decorations. I have time, and it gave me a little bit more hope when I have time. But, this happened to me in like multiple places that I worked. That's why I don't work there for that long, because I'm like, I need to get out of this place. Like, one of my first jobs was at a fish store. And, I wanted to be a marine biologist, and I would quit like 7 times, and I'd be back fucking 3 days later sometimes 3 months later, sometimes a year later, sometimes 2 weeks later, right? Just because like it was just shit job, shit pay. And everyone there, right, they all wanted to be marine biologists, and they were like, oh, let me get my marine biology degree. And then they realized that there's no jobs, no work, that going around the world with National Geographic or whatever, and helping coral around the world and all these exotic places and fish stuff, that dream, like, that job is so impossibly difficult to get. That never happened. The owner of the place got a degree at a good school, and then he just ended up getting a fish store, making a fish store, right? What the fuck is some crazy honk? Then one other coworker, he started it, and then that dream died when he started working there, because he realized the same thing, so he got just another degree. Another one, I don't remember if he got the marine biology degree and he realized there was nothing, so then he had to change to he changed to nursing. And then this other dude, he had a master's degree in freaking biology. He got 2 other master's degree in biology and 2 other like bachelor's degree in like botany and like paleontology or something like that. And I was like, why are you working here? He was like, because the job I want, because it was also worked with paleontology, not just marine biology. The job I want is so impossibly like hard to get that it's you'll never get there, right? And I'm like, first of all, these people give up. I mean, it made me give up marine biology, but then I realized like, yeah, no, to be honest, I don't really want to do that shit. But like, they all give up, and then they do something else, and then they end up working like minimum wage in just some random place. And I've seen that because I worked there for like a total of 4 years on and off. And I got my first job when I was like 16, right? Yeah, until like 20. Yeah, right? And I was on and off, and I saw this shit. I'm like, I don't want to be like this. And that's why I got into crypto and stocks and whatever, and starting a bunch of multiple side hustles and stuff like that. But I was just like, I don't want to do that shit. I don't want to be a failure. I don't want to like regret it and just like stay and then like they're getting close. Like some of them are over 25, and some of them are getting close to that age. That's why they had to switch their course of action to like nursing or other things. So I was like, I don't want to end up like that. So I got to get my shit together. Like, I've had that moment of realization, and then I worked at other fucking jobs. Like I worked at fucking Wawa gas station for like a couple of months because it was so shit. And then I realized like there's some grown ass people, like they're here, this is their job, and they tell you like they trauma dump on you, and they tell you their story, and you're like, damn, they have to do this shit because they failed in everything else. And then same thing, I worked at a 5-star restaurant, and then I'm like, these people, like some of these people have kids and like grown people and like service, like yeah, they're making like good money in tips, but like this job is like a lot of work, and like they didn't end up, they couldn't do anything else, so they ended up as servers. And yeah, they make good money, but it's not like crazy money. And I'm just like, damn, like I don't want to end up like this. Or even like when I was a food runner, like even if they're not a server, there were food runners that were like grown men, right? Or like bussers, and like pay the rent and like have kids and shit, and that's their job. And I'm like, I don't want to fucking be like this. Or then I worked at like other places for like fucking 3 fucking days because I guess couldn't take it, like fucking Jimmy John's, right? I worked at fucking Jimmy John's for like 3 days, and I was like, I can't do this. And some of these people are like grown, this is how they pay their fucking bills. And I'm like, what the fuck? Like, and then that's why I quit, because I don't want to be in the environment. Like, yeah, and even FedEx, when I worked at FedEx, like, yeah, it was a good job, but I was only working like part-time. I was barely getting any hours, and it was very labor-intensive work. And I'm like, these people, like, some of them are also only working that part-time hours. And I was like, how are you guys, like, and they're like 30, 40, like, there's grown-ass men, and like, some of them would even talk to me about, like, they would do it all over again so they wouldn't have to end up here. And I was like, fuck, man. Like, yes, you get paid better over time and you get, like, benefits and shit, but I was like, you're doing this shit for the rest of your life. Because you gave up, because you couldn't do all these other things. Because at some point, people give up because, like, the older you get, you start running out of options. And I'm just like, damn, man, I don't want to be this way. Like, most of this stuff, you're never going to get to $100,000. Like, it's very rare you get to 100K. Even with, like, quadruple overtime, man. And when I heard that from Quentin Tarantino, I'm just trying to tell you guys, like, I got these similarities, and, like, I need to do this shit soon, because, like, I need to take the risk while I'm young, because if I don't take the fucking risk, I'm just gonna end up like everyone else, regretting I didn't take the risk, and ending up doing something that'll never, like, get me out of that matrix, you know? It just made me think I have until like 25. Which is kind of true. Because then you start having kids and shit. You get married. And then you have to, like, work a full-time job for real, because you have to, like, supply your kids and shit. And you can't, like, fuck up. It just makes you think, man, like, yeah, I still have like 4 years, but it's only 4 years. Like, just look at how fast this year just went by. 2024 went by real quick. It makes you think, like, damn, I'm running out of time. I need to get my shit together. I need to take the risk. Because if I don't take the fucking risk and reap the rewards and get the benefit, you know, like, if you got to take that risk, and you might hit, you might not hit, but at least you fucking tried. But if you hit, it only takes one time. You only need to win once. You only need to hit once. And then your whole life changes. And then you fucking win. Because you just need to win once. That's the glory of a lot of things that people don't understand. So yeah, that's just, you know, something I heard from Quentin Tarantino say, and, you know, it really got me thinking about, like, my life and perspective on, like, time that you run out, and, like, how real that shit is, because, you know, I experienced it myself. And that's why I'm like, I don't want to be like these people. I don't want to work these fucking 9-to-5 jobs. So hopefully, you know, you guys can listen to that yourself and whatever. But just sharing my thoughts. See you guys in the next video.